So today in handout number 5, we'll continue talking about the principles of graphic design and the elements of graphic design. As we learned before, the elements of graphic design is about the things you are going to use inside your page. For example, we will start by using the dots, line, color, texture, form, space, and shapes. This is our elements in graphic design. But what about the principles? Last handout we discussed the principle of emphasize. This is the first one. The second is the alignment, then the contrast, then the repetition. Today we are going to talk about balance and contrast. This handout will cover the course learning outcome number 3 and 4 and 5. Our objectives for today is why we have to use contrast or how we can use contrast. Also, it's about using contrast with following, with alignment or repetition, how we can use it in order to achieve a clean and organized page layout. Also, we are going to know why we have to use balance and how we can use it, and what is the difference between symmetrical and asymmetrical balanced design. First of all, we'll start by contrast. So why we have to use contrast? Why we have to use contrast? In order to achieve a good balanced and a good hierarchy in your design, you have to use contrast. For example, if you are using only text in one page, how you can identify where is the important things inside your page? That's why you have to use contrast. For example, in this slideshow, I use only text, but in my text I used contrast between the title and the subtitles. This is, we call it size contrast. Also, I add colors. So now I have color, different colors between the title and the body text. So you can understand where is exactly the title and where exactly you have to read. Also, I use the underline for text. This is for important things. This is also, you can call it emphasize or you can call it add more contrast. So again, contrast, why we have to use it? To keep element on your page from looking too much alike. So again, if you are going to use only images in your page design, so how you can make the first image to be shown and the second one and so on. You have to use contrast. Contrast, it could be between size, colors, variation of colors, variation of size, okay, and we'll explain it later on in our examples. See, like this one. If you look at the left one, the left design, this is lack of alignment and there is no contrast. We used only one image, this square, a black one, same size, but without any alignment. So if you look at this design, this is boring one, lack of alignment, lack of contrast, we can't use. If you use at the middle one, it's also lack of alignment. So again, we have a problem. But we have contrast between what? The square and the circle. Okay, so now we can identify if this is a text or this is an image, so we can understand the difference between them. In the right design, this is perfect alignment, so it's balanced now. You can understand what is the shapes inside. We have contrast between what? Between squares, between the circles, and also we have contrast between the size of the circle, which is perfect design. Let's see this one also. This is a combination between what? Between contrast and the following or repetition and alignment in order to have a clean and organized page. So if you look at this one, we have size, contrast between size. The size of the animal is different. Size of the text is different. Size for the line also is different. This can add what? Can add more organized for your layout inside your page. So now we can understand the big title and the subtitle and the body text. It's easy to recognize. So again, contrast occurs when two or more elements look dramatically different from one another. So we have to make a difference between them, again by size, could be by texture, could be by colors, it could be also by the position, and so on. So let's see, this is ways how you can achieve contrast. Maybe if you are going to use all capital letters against small caps letters, this is, you can do it. Also you can use underline, you can use italic, you can use warm colors against cool colors, you can use columns against broken text inside your columns, you can use black against light colors or white colors, and so on, which is a very big contrast. Black against white is the perfect contrast, like this handout. The background is white and I write text with black. This is perfect contrast. You can read it perfectly and you can understand. Also, if you make the opposite, if you are using black background against white text, but you have to take care of the size of the text in this situation. Look at this menu. This is our next example. This is a coffee menu. What is the problem in this design? This is only central alignment, which is very boring. And how you can get the information? And for example, the espresso, for example, how you can know what is the price exactly from looking at the menu like this? This is black. We have a problem. We don't have contrast. What the designer did? He redesigned his menu and he added the logo, which is very important to identify the logo of your design. This is very important. And then what he did? He added a contrast between all the titles like this with one size, and the text, the body text, or how to explain it, the title is again the same size. Also the price is shown like this, which is very easy to identify what is the price exactly for espresso or for cappuccino or whatever, which is perfect. So again, he add alignment, he add contrast, and he add emphasis to his design, which is perfect. Also, if he add colors, this is black and white, but if he add colors, it will be more and more and so on. But now you can identify exactly your information and you can get it from just looking at your design. And this is another example. So again, using central alignment, it's easy for any designer to make a central alignment, but it's not dynamic. Okay, you can think, okay, I can read it, but we have a problem, we have too much space. What he did, you think about putting a black rectangular on the left side, then he write with white from down to up like this, but he was thinking how I can add the text on the right side. He decided to make right alignment, which is okay, you can use it, but not in a body text. You can't use it in a book design or magazines or so on, because this is English, you can't use it. You can use it in a flyer, in a poster, because it's a small amount of text, so it's okay. So he made the logo is smaller like this, then he add again the title, then to add a balanced design, what he did? He did a black rectangular here, 3 black rectangular, to balance between this one and the big black rectangular in the left side, which is perfect. Creating this space is okay, is perfect, because you need to rest your eyes, you need more space. And to make a variation of the size for the text is okay. Also he add italic for the text to make it more emphasis inside your design. This is again our example number 3. This is, we call it a nameplate. Where we can find a nameplate? You can find a nameplate in the front page of any newspaper, any newsletter. You have to find it. This is the logo of any newspaper or newsletter. In the example number 1, he used all capital letters. Everything is capital. When you are going to use capital letters, you have to understand there is no variation and there is no interaction between your eyes and the design. You can think it's only one block of text. What he did in the second design is the same. What he did, he used different font with variation between capital letters and small letters. This is a dynamic. So when you look at this nameplate, you can understand this is okay, I can read it, this is interesting, I can look at it. He make it more bold, and also he used capital letters here for the newsletter, the black background add more contrast with the white colors and the small titles down like this, which is perfect. So he changed his design from something we can call it normal and boring design to something interactive with your eyes, something more readable and more attractive. This is how we can use contrast inside our design. See example number 4. What is the difference between the left design and the right one? It's the same information, okay. But what is the problem here? We have a lot of alignment. It's a lack of alignment. We have center alignment, we have right alignment, we have left alignment, and he go again to make center alignment, which is adding something boring, and you can't understand where exactly I have to start reading my design. Also adding this squares in the corners. We don't like squares in the corners. We don't like to put bold line like this in the corners. Don't use it like this. What he did in the second design, he only used bullets to identify the subtitles. He put the title all is left alignment, and to create balance, what he did a square with a decorative things like this to identify the flower shop or the floors he's going to add about, which is perfect. Also for the number, he make it bigger because this is a big advertising and he need to send a message for the viewers to contact through this number, which is very important. That's why he make it big size. He add contrast between text for small information, because this is a flyer and you can read it easily for you. So that's why he make it in a small size like this. So again, before we skip this part, contrast is using contrast to avoid elements from look alike inside your design. So if you have all text and need to separate, you need to understand where's the important things and where's the subtitles and where's the body text, you have to use contrast. Contrast can be used by using alignment and emphasize. So you can't use it alone. You have to use alignment and contrast. So what is our next principle? We are going to talk about the balance. Balance. We all hear this word, balance. We need balance. Balance for what? Balance. In our life, we need balance in everything. But in design, the balanced design, in which the visual weights for all of the elements will be equal through your layout. Visual weight. This word visual weight, what is the meaning? Visual weight is the illusion of physical weight of a visual element in your page. So it's an illusion to create a physical weight. Okay. In balanced design, we have symmetrical and asymmetrical. In symmetrical balance, it means you are making a mirror between two things. It's a mirror. Yani if you have one line in the middle of your design, the right side will be equally to the left side. This is the meaning of mirror. Also, you can mirror by using a circle or a central point, and you can mirror all your image around this central point. For the asymmetrical, it's not mirrored one. We have a lot of series. For asymmetrical, we'll explore later on. We have a lot of examples to understand exactly how we can achieve asymmetrical, which is very dynamic, more interesting than the symmetrical one. So let's see this video first, and then we will continue.
To understand balance, think of the balance. When objects are of equal weight, they are in balance. Several small items on one side can be balanced by a large object on the other side. Visual balance works in much the same way. It can be affected not only by the size of objects, but also by their value, for example, lightness or darkness. Balance usually comes in two forms, symmetrical and asymmetrical. Symmetrical balance is mirror image balance. If a line is drawn down the center of the page, all the objects on one side are mirrored on the other side. Sometimes the objects are completely identical, and sometimes they are not. Then they are similar in terms of numbers of objects, colors, and other elements. form of symmetrical balance, where all elements radiate out from a center point in a circular fashion. In radial balance, all the elements lead your eye towards the center. Asymmetrical balance occurs when several smaller items on one side are balanced by a large item on the other side, or smaller items are placed farther away from the center than larger objects. One darker item may need to be balanced by several lighter objects. Asymmetrical balance may appear more casual and less planned. The layout must be, however, planned very carefully to ensure that it is still balanced. An unbalanced page or screen creates a feeling of tension, as if the page or screen might tip or things might slide off the side, just as the unbalanced balance beam would tip to one side. Eyes of a human are drawn by color. Small areas of vibrant color can be used to balance larger areas of more neutral colors. The vivid red skirt on the left is balanced by the larger neutral pink dress. Valley refers to darkness or lightness of objects. Black against white has a much stronger contrast than gray against white. To balance these two colors, you would need a larger area of gray to balance the stronger value of black. Large flat areas without much detail can be balanced by smaller irregularly shaped objects, since the eye is led towards the more intricate shape. The front dancer in this painting stands out in intricate detail compared to the large blurry area behind her. Using a balance beam, a larger weight closer to the center point can be balanced by a lighter weight farther away from the center. This is the basis for balance by position. Sometimes larger elements on one side of the page can be balanced by a smaller element that is positioned by itself at the far end of the other. This is a very tricky type of asymmetrical balance that often ends up looking out of balance. Look at how the small watering can on the left is used to balance the larger dancers to the right. Smaller areas with interesting textures can balance larger areas with smoother, untextured looks. Your eye can be led to a certain point in a picture depending on how the elements are arranged. If the people in a picture are looking in a certain direction, your eye will be led there as well. Elements in a picture, such as triangles or arrows, will also lead your eye to look to a certain point and maintain the balance of the picture. Look how the eye direction of the dancers and musicians in this painting lead your eye to the small gas light, which provide a focal point in this painting.
So now we take a overview of the balancing. So let's see some examples. So again, from this video, what we learn how to use asymmetrical and symmetrical balancing. We have an asymmetrical, we have the color, we have the value, we have the textures, we have the directions, and we have the position. We will have many examples about this and we will explain it later on. So also to have a visual weight. If you are going to use bold headline against the smaller caps, means you have visual weight, more visual weight in the bold headline. Also, if you are going to use a bright red color against a cool colors, so it means the red colors has a visual weight, more visual weight than the other one. Also for the photo, if you are going to use photos against text, the photos have more visual weight than the text inside your design. You have to carefully understand how you can use photos against text. In this design, this is a symmetrical one because of what? If you put a line in the center like this of your image, so it's mirror. The right side will be equal, the same to the left side. So this is, we call it symmetrical. This one is symmetrically balanced because we have the same shape in the left side and also the same in the right side, so this is a balanced design, a symmetrical one. But in asymmetrical one, we can have like many things, many objects here in one side and only one big object in the other side. But what he did that he make all his objects to be not in the middle, but to be in the axis point, near the axis point, or we can call it near the focal point. This is would be perfect. Like this one. So if you see in this colors, we have here two squares, same size. So this is, we call it, and same space from the axis point. So it means we have symmetrical one. But look at this one, this is asymmetrical. Because of what? We have a small square against the big one, but we don't have the same position. The biggest one is not in the same position like the small one. This is how we can create asymmetrical and to be balanced. Also between colors, we have cool colors against warm colors. Or we can have only one object against different objects to create this asymmetrical balance. See this example. Just the designer put his image inside one page. So if you can think about this one, this is left alignment and this is okay. Left alignment also, but not in the same position. This is central alignment, so we have lack of alignment. So it's not a balanced design. You need something to be balanced. What he did? He decided to put all his elements right aligned, like this. But if you think about this left poster, it's a lack of balance. Because all his image in one side and have a lot of space like this. So it's not balanced one. What he did only one black zigzag line like this to make a balance, which is perfect. So only adding small things to balance your design will create something you can read, you can see, and it will be comfortable for your eyes. This is very important. And also you can understand where exactly I have to put. He create a focal point inside his design for this shape. So we have a focal point, we have a title, and you can understand where exactly the subtitles and where is the most important information I have to read from this post. See this example. This is also about balance between colors and photos against text. So we have a very big background white one. What we have here, we have a black shape for this hand, and also you add two images inside to make a balance between this and between this block of text. This is perfect balance. So again, black against white will create contrast, and also if you are using a perfect size shapes against each other, it will be a good balance. This example is asymmetrical between colors. How he used the light colors like this and like this dot against the dark background to create what? To create a focal point. So now we have a focal point, this circle. The blue one, we have a focal point, and you don't have to look at it all the time. You will go around like this, your eye will go around like this, it's like a water drop, and then you can read the text, which is perfect. So again, using balance between colors, it will be between warm colors and cool colors, or black against white, or black against grayscale. This is also asymmetrical between shapes. What he did shape in the background, okay, against too much shapes in the corner like this. Also he used the colors to add also the balance. He used light colors against the red one for the shapes in the front side, which is perfect. He create a focal point here in this side, in the left down side. He create a focal point. Your eye will start from here and will go through the arrows to the other side, which is perfect. Using arrows will be a directed position to your images. Arrows very important. Also the eyes, also you can use eyes in order to direct your audience to directions inside your design like this. This is very, very nice design. This is balanced by value. What we mean by value? Value is using a grayscale inside your design, or black against the grayscale. What he did only one image, which is very dark, like a black color, against the blurry one to create the motion like this, so it will be balanced between one image and image on the other side, which is perfect. So again, using grayscale or white against the black will create a symmetrical, balanced in a perfect design poster. This is between picture. So in picture, what we have to do? Just use smooth or soft texture in the background against something very weird, or something motion, or something can create dynamic inside your design. But don't use it too much. So you have to determine where exactly you have to put the foreground and the background, and this is a perfect balanced poster. For example number 7, we have here balanced by direction. Directions to your eye. Direction, you can use it by photos also, can add directions. Arrows can add directions, or lines like this, or shapes can add direction. So what he did, now your eye will be directed from up like this to down towards this image, and it will create one spot or focal point in the middle. Then you have to read again the text, then your eye will go like this outside your poster. So he created a well-balanced design. It's an asymmetrical one, and which is perfect by using colors against the dark background, by direct the eye inside your image. To direct the eye, you can use photos, you can use shapes, and you can use also the arrows or directions from the body language. So again, in this handout, what we did, we first start by discussing what is contrast and how we can use contrast inside your design, which is very important, and then how we can use balance. And we know now what is the difference between symmetrical and asymmetrical. Let's watch again this video. This is like a revision for what we did already last lecture and what we already finished today.
Design elements in the real world. Now that we have learned to write the design elements, we can use this knowledge to identify their usage in the real world. I'll leave the following exercise. Grab a few magazines or even your junk mail and look for these elements. I recommend magazines instead of newspapers, as they usually contain more ads, and these tend to be created by graphic design agencies. You can also look at websites to try and identify elements. Just open a website you usually access and see what you can find. Look at an ad. Can you see lines in them? What are these lines used for? To separate information or to direct your eyes? What about forms? What forms do you see in the ad? Why are they there? The colors that are used seem more serene or aggressive? Does the contrast make something important pop out from the rest of the content? Is there any texture? What is it simulating? Why? Does the position of the elements generate mass, making the design lighter or heavier? And finally, space. Is there enough white space, or is the information crammed up? If possible, circle these elements and make annotations. When you're out and about, keep an eye out for anything graphic related. Stop and take a long look. What are the details you see? You might note that not all designs will have all elements, and the ones of inferior quality might have none of these. Course revision. As we approach the ending of Introduction to Design course, let's just quickly review some of the things we learned. Design can be explained to be a way to communicate an idea or concept using design processes, elements, and principles. A designer will be presented with a problem he must solve visually, and he must do so following a design process. If there isn't a visual solution, there isn't design. There are several types of design processes, the most notable ones being the rational model and the action-centric model. The rational model is ideal for beginner designers as the process is better documented. The 6 basic elements in design are line, form, color, texture, mass, and space. There are 5 basic principles of design: alignment, balance, contrast, proximity, and repetition. I hope that this course has made it easier to understand more about what truly is design. Once again, I must disclose that I've only scratched the surface of the design basics, and I will tackle them in a more in-depth course in the future. I would very much appreciate that if you enjoy this course and has been useful for you, you could rate it on Udemy. Please don't hesitate to leave any questions you might have using the Udemy interface. Your question might be most relevant to the users. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.
So in our practical part, we're going to design a newsletter in Adobe Illustrator. So first, what is a newsletter, or how we can use it? Newsletter is something like a flyer, one-page flyer, or it could be 2 pages, to announce about something will happen, like an offer, for example, or you need people to understand what is your service will be about, or to talk about us, for example, in 1 page. You can send it by email, or you can give it by hand to hand. So first of all, to design something like this, you have to start by making sketches. To make these sketches, you have to think, you have to figure out who it will be your audience, who your newsletter will be made for, which kind of business. You have to think about this one. It's entertainment place, for example, or this is only a discount or offers, or what is going to be. So you have to first think about this newsletter will be for whom. Then you have to decide your formats. Formats, it will depend also about your business. If it's for to announce about offers, so you can use like A5 standard pages, okay. If it will be full of information, for example, or 2 or 3 things you need to announce about, you can use A4 pages, okay, not more than A4 because this is a newsletter. So you can't use A3 size. Also, you have to think, it will be a portrait or a landscape. So first you have to figure out exactly your format. You have to keep it focused. What does it mean? It means if you are going to use images, use image to be directly according to your message. If you are going to use offers, for example, you have to make it more emphasize to your image. This is the offer, 20% discount, something like this. Use colors to identify your newsletter. And also you have to make the headline clearly and the body text. So any newsletter must contain text. You have to add headline and you have to add body text. The headline will show exactly what is your information or what is the title of your newsletter, then the subtitle, then the body text. That's why we are going today to use a columns inside Adobe Illustrator, and you will know how exactly you can copy and paste text inside Adobe Illustrator and how to cut and use masks in your images. Use of images is very important. Know exactly which images you are going to use and how many images you are going to use inside your A4 or A5 page. This is one example. So again, we have a title here, a big one for your newsletter, a subtitle, we have images, we have like 3 articles. How do you separate between these 3 articles, which is very vertical? Use the S curve in the left side like this, and he did it also in the other page but in the right side like this. How you can use images and how you can create masks and cut and paste images like this, you will understand in the Adobe Illustrator. So let's go to the Adobe Illustrator program now. We can open it. Open A4, normal size in Illustrator. So today my newsletter will be about Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi. So what I did first, now I have information about Ferrari. You have to put it in one folder like this. You have all the information you need to add in your newsletter, so you have to prepare it first. Then you have to prepare all your images and think which image I have to use. So first I start by adding sketches. So I did many sketches in my design. So I want to use something like this. For example, you can use a pen tool. So if I want, for example, to use cut photo in the upside of your page like this, use the pen tool. It's very simple, and just add colors by using the swatches like this. Okay, first. Then decide which photo you are going to cut. So for example, I will open, you know how to open from Illustrator. If you make file open, it will open in another folder. But make file place, you will open your image inside your page. It will be easier for you. So from here, then use letter. So I will try to use this one, or okay, let's use this one. Place. So when you see, you press place, what you will have here in your mouse, it will ask you where exactly I can place your image. Just click. So it will be placed like this. Then you can reduce the size using shift when you reduce the size, or alt and shift. Okay, you can work with opacity so you can exactly know where you can place your image. So I will reduce the opacity like this, so I can see the background if it's fitted or not, or I have to make it more size, or this is okay. So for me, I think this is okay. It is okay, I can place it like this. It's okay like this, perfect. Okay, go back to your opacity, make it 100%. Now we have two images. What you will do, select these both images like this. Right click and make label mask. Okay, just take this one, sorry, put it in behind, right click and arrange, send to back with the yellow background, and right click, make label mask. So it will be like this. If you don't like it, again, you will go right click and undo making label mask, or you can release it so you can make it again. So for me, if it's perfect, خلاص, I like it, I can use it. What we will need here, we need text and we will need a logo for the variable. I have here many images, so I will place again two images. I will put here in the corners, maybe I will use it later on. I have this one. And I have this panel. Like this. So it's better to put all your images. If you press H from the keyboard, now you will have this hand. It will be easy for you to move inside your page like this. It's very easy. Also, I will bring my text. So first, start by adding your text so you can understand exactly what is the space I will have in my design so I can work on. So you have to create a rectangular like this. Okay. And don't forget the margins for your page. You can use Ctrl R to show the ruler, and you can use the guide like this. It's very important using guide or grids. It will be easy for you don't to go outside from your page. Also from down, I need also a guide, and this is enough. So again, just select your text box and go to type, area type options. What we will have here, we have the width and the height of your text area. You have the number of rows, and you have to make the preview to see exactly what we are going to do. So in this one, what I will do, I can use 2 rows. If you want to use 2 rows, it's okay. 1 row is okay. The columns, I'm going to use 3 columns is okay. Like this. Here you have the space, the gutter. What is gutter? Gutter, this is the space between columns. So if you check here, if you make it more, so the spaces between the columns will be more wider, and if you make it less, it will be less like this. Okay, so make it perfect. Okay, so we'll go to the word file. or whatever. If you take it copy and paste from any program, you can take copy and paste. I will take here my information about Ferrari Wallet, copy, Control C, go to Adobe Illustrator and just click here inside your page and make it copy and paste like this. Okay. But if you have more information, it will be based on the 3 columns like this. Again, we understand exactly how to use text. Select all, Control A, and you can here change the font. It's very easy to change the font, or double click and just go down with the arrow. You will have all your text like this. It's very easy. So choose first the text and choose something which is serif. Serif fonts is very easy to read. So you can use Times, for example. This is perfect for any newsletter. Times New Roman is okay, the normal one. And the size 12 is okay because this is a readable one. 12 is okay for the subtitle. For your paragraph, you can use it. If you want to use justified, it will be perfect like this. Okay. Then you can zoom in and see exactly what is your text. Again, to zoom, it will be Control plus, Command plus like this. And you can see exactly where is your text. So if you want to add more spaces, it's very easy to add more spaces between each paragraph. Here. If you want to add title, we'll add a big title now. If you want to remove text, it will be easier also for you. So now I will take the title here about Ferrari Wallet in Abu Dhabi and go back, Illustrator, very easy. Create another box for the text like this and add your text. Control V. Control A to select all and then change the size. So for me, I will use a red color because this is Ferrari World and the logo mainly depend on red and yellow and black colors. For the newsletter, you have to write newsletter. You can write it capital letters to be better. Big one. And think exactly where you can put it. You can put it like this, or you would like to make it more size. Please, you have to press shift from the keyboard. If you want to make it more, the size, make it more. We can add here outline, or we can change colors only. I think for me, I will leave it black. And I can add outline for my text. Let's see if we add black like this. Again, zoom in so you can see it. Is this okay? Or I added white. Again, you know what is the difference between the foreground and the background here. The foreground is for the text color and this one is for the alignment. The outer for your text. So I added only white, so white will show only on the images and outside there is no white. I will try to make it more bold so it will be readable and take care of the alignment. Again, how you can make the alignment, use your guide like this to create alignment, or you can use the alignment tool. So if you think this is perfect, so I can make this one more bigger, like this, and it will be aligned. Okay, I think like this is perfect. So again, go back to your text. You think this is okay, or I can reduce the size, or I can add more columns and so on. So let's see if you think about making this down like this. Why not? I need to separate my page. But you have to take care for the text. Take care you don't use too much text. You have to delete all the unnecessary text. So make sure your article is perfect. We have here 2 subjects about Ferrari. If you want to add bold for your text, you can just click like this and add this one bold and show more. If you want to make the size more, it will be perfect. And please separate your paragraphs. So you have here one paragraph and you have the other one, leave space between each 2 paragraphs. Like this. What about we can use this banner here? So my text is white, so I need to add something on the background so I can see it. So let's use the rectangular tool. Like this. We can make it black or we can make it gray later on. Let's see. The arrangement is very easy. Right click, arrange, going to front. We need this one to be in the front, and reduce the size by using shift or alt shift from the key. Zoom in again and check your images if it's okay or not, like this. And think, do we need to put it down, or we need to put it up, or what we can do? Make it perfect. We have a lot of space here. Can reduce it like this. Take both of them and make it grow. Ctrl J to be in grow. Like plus you can move it anywhere. So you can put it down or you can put it up. But as you know, you don't have to make the same design like what I did. Just I'm showing you how you can cut and paste, how you can add text, but you don't have to make the same design. So for example, again, you want to add here images. So I need to make sure that you understand exactly how you can cut and paste. So I have here some images, photos, so I can take it, copy, go back to Illustrator, and you can work with it. So again, for example, if you want to cut it square, it will be easy. Take the rectangular tool like this, make a square from this family, please zoom in. You can use it as a line, so you can see exactly which part you are going to cut. Shift both of them together, right click the outline, shift with the photo, right click and make label mask. So it will be like this. It will be only the part you are going to add the mask. So for example, again, if you don't want to make it as a square, if you want to make it circle, for example, so it's the same. Take the ellipse tool, use it as ellipse like this, make it outline so you can see exactly which part I'm going to cut. Shift with the background, right click and make label mask. So again, it will be like this. It's very easy. You can take it, reduce the size, can make it this smaller, more smaller, so it will be nice. Like this. Which is perfect. So you can add another one if you want to add another one, it will be okay. If you want again to add text here, you can add it in 1 or 2 columns. So again, I want to understand, to make sure that you understand exactly how you can add text. You can take this part, Ctrl C, in Adobe Illustrator again and go create a box in your text. Go to type, area type options, make a preview so you can see it. Use columns or rows as you like. So I will use only 2 columns is enough for this one. And here I make stand here and make paste. Copy and paste, Ctrl C and Ctrl V like this. If you want to change the color for any word, just select the word and change the colors. You have swatches and you have colors, and you can create your own colors. It's up to you. Make the slice like this. Again, if you want to change color, size, it's very easy to change size. From here, you can change the size. Like this, make it bigger. You can leave space. I think I will add it more smaller. In 1 column is okay, and you can get more information in the other column. So in the other column I will take more information like this. Just copy and paste, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. You have to continue. And this is enough. Please zoom in so you can see exactly what you are doing in this part. Zoom in like this. Each from the keyboard you will have the hand. The hand will make it easier for you to move. So if I want to make this word family is the same size and color like attraction, what I will do? Just use the eyedropper and put it like this, it will be the same. Same size, same color. So eyedropper also will work with text and will work with images. So if you think this is perfect, خلاص you can go on. If you want, for example, to add background, check the layers, your layers. We have only 1 layer here and put all the text. So I can add new layer from this icon, create a new layer. Then I can put it down. Then by using rectangular tool, and create rectangular like this. And please change the color. Or you can use gradient. In this case, if you want to use gradient, you have to use gradient tool and here the gradient, or you can go window, gradient from here. Window and gradient, or command F9. So from here, add the gradient like this, change direction, and change opacity. Check again your design, if it's okay, everything is fine, you have to save it. So So again, what we did today, we did create a newsletter. It's a A4 size, one-page newsletter. We used mask. We used the type tool to create columns, which is very easy here. Just you have to make a box. Again, go to type menu. In type menu, you can do everything about types. You can fit the heading. You can change font. You can change size and so on. You can also get the area type option. In area type options, please make preview so you can see exactly what you are doing. Make the columns 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. You can make it rows also like this. You can change the gutter, and again gutter is the spaces between the columns or the rows. If you finish it, just OK and start replacing your text. We know now how to use a clipping mask. For example, again, if you want to take one part like this, the logo only, for example, like this, just create a rectangle, make it outline, shift from the keyboard with your image, and just right click, make clipping mask. It will be like this. If you want to release it, again right click and undo or release a clipping mask. It will be very easy. So we don't have now a clipping mask. So you will save it as an Illustrator file, Ctrl S to save it. This is Illustrator. Okay, or go to File, Save As. From here you can save it as a PDF. In a PDF, please leave everything like this. We'll discuss this later on. Or again, you can have, which I like, export, make it as a JPG, and please take care of the JPG. Don't make it CMYK, we need RGB colors only. This will be better when you print it, and make it the quality maximum, and the resolution you have to make it 3 dpi. Resolution must be 300 dpi like this. We'll make it less and OK. So if you check your design, the JPG one, now you will have your design here like this. Now you can remove, like this is your PDF. So it's perfect, size is okay, the resolution you have to check the PDF to see if your resolution is okay, your images, your text is okay. Everything inside your page, you have alignment and you have contrast now, like this. So you have a perfect alignment here, you have contrast, you have emphasis, and also it's a well-balanced design.